again, just because you have a child with a black woman does not mean that that is your preference or that you prefer black women.
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. I'm Sharon. Hello, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love Miami season 6 episode 7. So let's get into it. Just kidding. Now you know what's coming. You know, and you knew, okay? What I need you to do before we get into the video is give it a thumbs up and then subscribe, okay? It helps me out a ton. It's very easy and simple for you to do. You literally just hit the thumbs up button and then subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. Do me that solid. Now we can get into it. So I'm just drinking some white grape juice with some ice, like, you know, something pretty chill. It is so rainy and like just ugly outside. I'm literally having to use like one of my ring lights because that's how dark it is outside. So it's making it dark in the apartment. But yeah, I'm just drinking on this. Grab yourself something to drink and let's get into it. Okay, so this episode opened up with the ladies lounge, and the women have the power this week, but they also have to introduce like the men that they're interested in to their friends. And first up is Jamala. So Jamala introduced Randall to her friends, and it seemed like, you know, everything was going good. Randall says that he is attracted to her and he likes her, but he also feels like she is his best friend. And that was cute, but I think like it always sounds so cliche to say that about like your significant other or your person, to say that like, no, he's my best friend. But it's like, no, it really be that though. Like for real, when you really like the person that you with and y'all get along and y'all have a friendship, like you spend a lot of time with them, it becomes inevitable that they are like your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Not to replace like your best friend who may be a girl or a boy or your other best friends, but like it really do be that. So that was cute. And then the friends say that like they like him, he seemed genuine, and yeah, like so far Randall hasn't given off like bad vibes or like F-boy energy or any of that stuff. Like he does seem like he may like date around because he is tall. This is the thing, everybody loves somebody tall. Even if the man is not attractive, if he tall, somebody gonna want him just because he tall. You know what I'm saying? So like he does give the vibes that, you know, he been around the world, you know what I'm saying, and back and then around the world again. But it doesn't seem that he is dishonest in like the things that he does. Like, you know what I'm saying? It seems like he will be very open about what he doing, where he going, how he moving, and all of that kind of stuff. And that's important. So shout out to Randall. So then next up is Katie, and Katie has her line sister, I believe, meet Swayze. And listen, I feel like at first everything was going good, right? Like I feel like at first everything was going good, and then it just took a turn for the worst. So then they asking him questions, and he says something along the lines of like he doesn't have a type. And I don't understand why he was finding it so difficult to say what his type was, because surely if a woman comes up to you that you're not attracted to, you're not gonna be with it. So like you do have a type, but for whatever reason he didn't want to say what his type was. And after them asking him questions, you know, we found out that he has not dated a black woman in a while, despite the fact that his child's mother is black. And I hate when people try to use that as like a thing to say that somebody does not like black women just because they have a child with a black woman. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean you for us. That doesn't necessarily mean you prefer us. That doesn't mean that. But I guess he was, because he got mad and then he like basically stormed out. And I feel like it was because he knows the times that we are living in, okay? And he does not want, I guess, it to be portrayed for what it is. Because it's like, if you haven't really been dating black women, then... But I feel like anybody would side-eye somebody who is like, well, yeah, I haven't dated a black woman in a while, or however long it was for him. It's like, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, just because you have a child with a black woman does not mean that that is your preference or that you prefer black women. So then Trinika has 3 men meet her friends, okay? She said, everybody, come on down. So LJ is up first, and then I feel like with LJ, it wasn't really much going on, so I'm not even gonna like spend too much time talking about that. Then Justice came, and he did not answer any of the questions asked straightforward. Like, he was so ambiguous about everything, and he just would not give a straightforward answer. Randall shows up third, and you know, I feel like they didn't really have too much time after that. But the friends really liked LJ. They did not like Justice, and they will be dead on for that, okay? And Randall, yeah. Justice, in his confessional too, he also says, like, I'm not showing you nothing. Why I gotta show you something? You show me something. And it's like, at this point, if anybody dates him after watching him on this show and experiencing him in this atmosphere, then they are insane, okay? So then Sharice has her friend meet Samson, and, you know, all was well with that. Even the dog liked Samson, so that was cool. So then we have Kayla, and Kayla has her friend meet Mike and Randall. And Mike arrives first, and he brings up the kiss again. I'm just like, can you let that go? Like, please, let that go. Then when Randall shows up, he brings it up again and says basically like, this is the person that she was kissing. And it's like, sir, please, please, please. So for me, in watching this interaction and conversation with like Mike and the friend and Kayla, it seems like he wants Kayla to be all in for him. Meanwhile, he also has another connection. Like, he is trying to make it seem like she all over the place and don't know what she want because she has another connection. But it's like, you also have another connection, and it seems like he's wanting her to like lock it down and focus and choose him. He didn't say that, but again, I said seems. Like, it seems like he is wanting her to be like all in for him and want him and chase after him. Meanwhile, he has another connection that is very strong. So it's like, what are you doing? So then the men leave, and then the friend tells her friend the real. She's like, listen, Mike is not it, basically. Like, that's it. Mike is not it. So then Brandy is up, and she has her friend meet 2 men, Samson and Mike. And when Samson arrived, because he arrived first, they accidentally kissed, and that was so funny to me. Like, what? No, that was hilarious. And then I immediately thought, like, is Mike gonna have a problem with this since he can't seem to let go of the fact that Kayla kissed somebody else throughout the process? It just was like, wow, Mike's gonna cry about this. Samson also tells Brandy in this like sitting that he is physically attracted to her, and she said that, you know, she hadn't heard that from him before, so that was good for her to hear and good for her to know. And then Mike arrives, and he had gifts. Listen, that was cute and that was sweet, okay, because for me, I feel like all of the love languages are my love language, but I really do like for somebody to be thoughtful when it comes to like things like that, like gifts and stuff. I haven't really been feeling Mike, so like, you know, a couple of points for him. That was nice and that was sweet. So once the friend talks to Brandy, she says basically she is torn. She like, listen, I can't help you. I don't know. They both seem like a good choice. I can't decide between the two. You know, I feel like Brandy and Mike have more of like a stronger connection, and I think it's because they have been cultivating that and honing in on that since the beginning, whereas I feel like her and Samson are just starting. So maybe like her and Samson could have something. I also feel like I don't really feel like she checking for Samson like that, like, just to be honest. So yeah, that was that. So then Looney has her friend meet LJ and Justice arrives first. I was very interested after like seeing Justice on the date earlier in the episode. I was interested to see how he was gonna act and how things were gonna go on this date, because I feel like a lot of the women can see him for who he is. Like, they could really see him for who he is. But for some women, I don't know if it's just like the more naive women or the more gullible women or what, they can't really like see that. So I was interested to see like the friend, you know, get to see him and know him and then like give her take on him. But yeah, then LJ arrives to the date, and the friend, I feel like their date was more like, I don't feel like they asked any, well, that friend, I don't feel like she asked any real like questions to really like get to know how the men would be as partners or whatever the case may be. She had asked something about sex, and it was like, girl, is that the best you got? Like, with like sex? Like, please, least of anybody's worries or concerns right now. Like, you need to be asking the questions to properly vet these men before it even gets to the point of sex, okay? But I was so confused when the date ended and she was like, I'm Team Justice. And it's like, what? I just was very disappointed that that friend was like, I'm Team Justice. It's like, girl, you're supposed to be helping your friend out and not leading her astray, okay? So then it's ladies lounge, and all of the ladies talk about their dates, and then it gets to Shanika, and then she says like what her friends had said about Justice, and I feel like the consensus in the room was like, oh yeah, we see that, like we right here with your friends, like we know, we get it. And then I feel like Looney was just still like, no, whatever the case may be, and then she in her confessional was like defending him, and it's like, girl, nobody don't care that he don't want them. They are saying that him as a person is not somebody that anybody should be dating, basically. And I feel like she was trying to defend him as if like they mad because like he don't want them. And it's like, that's not it. He's just a trash man. So then it gets to Kadian, and Kadian is talking about her date with Swayze, and then she didn't, actually. She opted to like not give many details, but then we find out from Sharice that Swayze called her and gave her all the tea, and he was so mad and so upset. So then Kadian went into detail, and I thought like, wow, here you are like being like, I'm not going to discuss that. And it's like, who knows who else he told? So yeah, the bottom men are Justice and LJ. And LJ goes on a date with Looney. And then Justice goes on a date with Kayla. And I was just very happy to see Justice finally leave, because I feel like I just don't even understand how he made it this far. He is not a desirable candidate for a relationship with anyone. Okay, like I don't know who would get to know him on an intimate level and find out the way he thinks and feels and his viewpoints on stuff and really want to be in a relationship with him. Like that would be the most one-sided relationship that you would ever come to know. Okay, so I was really happy to see that he was the one who had to like end his journey. He was no longer ready to love, because it been time. But then as Justice is getting the boot, he says that he can sense projection and BS, and it's like, you are BS personified. Okay, it's insane to me. I feel like at this point the producers was trolling us when they even casted him on the show, because there's no way that them asking questions that they would need to ask to properly audition and get somebody casted for this show, that his answers got him on the show because he was actually ready to love or would be a good partner for a woman. Like this, like they trolling us. Like, no, it was all for the reality TV aspect of it to get like the excitement. I have to like believe that, because I cannot understand how anybody would see him as like a potential like mate for anybody. It's crazy. But anyways, that was this episode of Ready to Love. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will catch you in the next one.